I'm an engineer and a scientist, and you really want to hope that engineering and science is going to be a solution to every problem, but really the detailed work we did in America and the detailed work here and thinking about this problem, you realize this is a finance problem.
Yep.
And then you look for global precedents, and there's a few. One was in the Great Depression, the big unemployment problem in America was no one was building houses. There was not a modern 20-year mortgage at that time. Everyone had 5-year mortgages, and you had to pay a balloon payment at the end. So the Depression really messed it up.
Yep.
So the policy response was to invent the modern 20-year mortgage and administer it through a government program called Fannie Mae. And so, to have nice things in the future, you have to have finance to afford them now. And honestly, that created the largest capital market in the world. To this day, the American housing market is the largest capital market in the world. So it really was effective in helping people do home ownership. So, that's a hint that maybe what we need. And then Bruce Chapman's idea was, well, not everyone will qualify for that. So, there's a public good like education. It will be valuable to you in the future. You can't afford it now. Let's give that to you, and then when you get the good job at the end of the rainbow, you pay back the HECS if and only if you're earning enough money to afford it.
Yeah.
If you get sick, you can miss a few payments, that's okay. The government can carry you because the government has access to the lowest interest. And the really beautiful thing about the HECS program is it's the lowest cost way to loan money in the country.
Right.
Because you've already got a relationship with the tax code, it just automatically happens through tax, so you don't need all of the cost of administration that plagues normal banks.
So higher education contribution scheme could become, I think Bruce called it, solar education contribution scheme. I think it's like the acronym.
They did, HECS is the acronym.
Yeah, he was like, sex on the roof, it was all...
Yeah, it was all sex on the roof.
There's lots of opportunity for interest there.
Yeah, we went a little bit further. We worked with Bruce, and we're still working with Bruce, and have done some modelling with Treasury on something we call the Electrify Everything loan scheme.
Okay.
And the idea behind that is if you want to make something sound really cheap, you make the denominator, that's the thing on the bottom of the equation, really big. And then it's a tiny fraction of the big thing. And so the biggest number you can get to in Australia is 11 million homes times the average value is 1.1 million. Like, the value of our property is enormous, and the cost of electrification basically disappears. And so that's sort of the big idea, but the detail is you loan the EEL system. We believe you can build a system where you loan any Australian household who wishes to electrify all the things, or any subset of the things. They can take the loan out against that value of the home, and the government can provide the lowest rate of interest, basically matched to the borrowing rate of the government, so it's a low interest loan, and then you only have to pay it back because the government can carry it for quite a while until this transfer of the property, so when you move and sell the property. Average Australian home, I think, sells every 10 years or so, and so it only takes about 20 years to move through a huge amount of the housing stock, and at the end of it, basically the inflation of property, what goes up in Australia, property prices. So by the time the property sells, that's the day you feel richest. And this loan has disappeared in the inflation of the property price.